Yes, people, welcome back to Football United TV. And we are here for the Football Politics Show. Marley's joining me today. Big up the guy from Rio. It's going to be quite an intense talk. So I hope you're okay to watch this with us, everybody. And we will start off with the intro and then we'll delve straight into football being united with Ukraine. Hang on a minute.
Live TV, everyone. Live TV.
Here we go. Yes, everybody, welcome back to the Football Politics Show. We are here today, me and Marley, talking about football standing with Ukraine. And of course, our shouts out to the Ukrainian people right now, going through what they're going through. It's very, it's a very difficult time. And I know football's being cancelled as well, especially in Ukraine, Shakhtar Donetsk, etc. Marley, how are you doing? I know this is a difficult time to talk about things.
Yeah.
What's up, bro? You're right.
I'm good. No, today I'm good. Last week I was doing really bad, like with everything that was going on in the world. By the way, like I've been starting all of my streams saying big up to Ukraine, sending my prayers. But we're gonna be talking about this the entire stream. So I actually want to start by saying Happy International Women's Day to every woman in this whole world. Big up to all of you, and to the guys watching this as well. Happy International Women's Day to the ladies that you hold close to your hearts as well. Yeah, that's it. I hope you're having a good day. You deserve this day. It's the world hasn't been fair for most of its existence to women, so it's good that we can appreciate them more now. If it's not like we all have moms, right? Like we got to be born, and it's good that they're becoming more and more prominent in society and in football as well, which is what we talk about. But yeah, this Ukrainian thing, man, like it breaks my heart. And don't get me wrong, I hear the people, like I see a lot of people complaining that people are a little selective, that they don't pay attention to other wars when it's the US, for instance, initiating them. I'm almost an American at heart, but it has nothing to do with that, right? Like I apologize if I didn't pay attention to wars before that. I plan on starting to pay attention now. Any war is wrong, man. If you attack civilians, you're wrong. Doesn't really matter what else is happening, man. If someone that's not holding a gun is killed in a war, excuse my French. We try not to swear here, but it's fucked up. It's fucked up. That's it. Like there's no other word for it. So I want all wars to end. Right now, the one that's being highlighted that everyone is seeing is the messed up things that are happening in the Ukraine. I want to send a special shout out. I only know one Ukrainian guy, and he's a fantastic dude that went to University of Miami with me, Mihailo. Mike the Gangsta, as I used to call him, because he does look like most villains in American movies from the late '90s. But dude, like one of the sweetest people I know, and I know like he cares a lot about this issue. He's very outspoken about this, so I want to share my support. I've been using his picture here. You can see this beautiful dude here. Where is it? Mihailo. That's it. Let me turn off my camera 1 second. That's it. So big up to him, big up to his family, and big up to the entire people of his country. Yeah.
Very well said, Marley. Very well said. And we've also got Stephen here to have a talk with us as well. Stephen, how
Yo,
you
what's
doing?
up, bro? What's up, bro?
You good?
What's up, my man?
Yeah, I'm alright. Like you said, you can put it better than yourself, really. But all wars are wrong. Like no matter whether you don't pay attention to others or whatever, it doesn't really matter that it's wrong in all sense of the word. Especially an unprovoked one. Like there was nothing provoked. Like I mean, they can come up with their crap, by Russia, but there was nothing provoked in this whatsoever, and it's as much as like I've seen sportsmen be punished. If we're looking just in general sports, you're looking at certain individuals that have been punished. I know for obviously people know I'm an F1 fan, so they know Mazepin's been struck off. His father's been struck off um because of their being Russian and that. Big up Charlie, hope you well. But in the end, like, what else can we do? I mean, we can't say do much without causing warfare. Like, as much as people say that we need to get involved, if you get involved, you'll kick off the end of the world because you end up kicking off World War Three, which is the last thing anyone needs. So, and basically, I mean, do you know what? I really don't care who I am. It is Putin's basically wanting the Soviet Union back. That's basically what he wants. He wants the land that he's lost. He wants it back. And they call themselves a democracy. They're not, right? Because he's been in power so long, and he's also influenced his own elections to make sure he stays there. And I don't care. He's a fucking twat. So I'm sorry, man, but he's a fucking twat.
No, that's fine.
That really needs to get a grip of fucking reality.
Yeah.
He doesn't give a toss about civilian life. He doesn't care about his troops. He don't care about his people. Most of these people don't even want to fight. They're already right. I think they're already writing as we speak.
Yeah.
So it's for your own gain. It's because I'm Russia and no one can touch me and I'll do what I want. It's basically how it looks to me. Right? If that offends people, well, I'm sorry. Go read the facts because the facts to me, that's what it spells out to me.
Dude,
Yes,
you're not gonna get an argument from Maddie or myself in this. Like, dude, I have absolutely no love for Putin. No love for Putin.
I never had love for him anyway, mate. I saw this coming. The funny thing is, I saw this coming for a long while, and it's what the only thing I complain about the West is that why didn't you see this coming? You knew it was coming. Why didn't you?
Stephen, I think that the West have played their part in a bad way in this. They didn't take the precautions from the first time round. The fact that Russia really wanted to take over more than the Donetsk area. And look.
And so what's the problem? Sorry, the problem is, Matt, is that if we don't stop and do something like destroy the economy of Russia or anything like that, China, who we all know is a big supporter of Russia, right, will sort of get the idea because I believe they want Taiwan. They'll get the idea thinking they can do what they want, and it's kind of.
This is the thing. The good thing about it is China has stayed neutral, and
for now.
Hang on. Let me. And I hate to say this, Brazil, Marley, but Brazil's have also stayed neutral. They've not come out and said
the president,
yes.
who's an idiotic baboon. Yes, he's staying neutral. The country's not, and even the people around him, who they tend to be a bunch of idiots too. They're not neutral, mate. They stand with the Ukraine and
Yes.
Bolsonaro, that idiot. He's He's finding ways of saying he supports the Ukraine without attacking Putin because he's a fan of the guy. And I don't understand how anyone can be. I'm sorry.
Like
Like
the Venezuelan president,
Hmm?
right? He's very, very for what's happening with Putin. They're very for, and so are Cuba, and so are North Korea, and so are, I think,
Communist
South
countries,
Africa
maybe.
are neutral at the moment.
Yeah.
I think neutral is a good thing, Stephen, because if China, who are, like you said, very big with Russia, are staying neutral, that's a very good sign. It is a very good sign because
It
usually
is.
they would
It
go,
it
we're
is.
with you. We can't actually get into this.
It is.
This
I
is
mean, how sick is this? Is that like you're sitting there watching news clips? You're basically looking at World War II played in modern world. It's what it is. It's like what would World War II like if it was today with modern technology, with Twitter, with social media, right? You've got news people reporting on a young mother giving birth underneath the shelling of her own city. This is why I said the Russia. Don't get me wrong, Russia. There are a lot of people in there who don't want this and think this is completely wrong. But they've already been told they can't have their own media. It's got to be state-led media now,
Holy
so they
crap.
can't
Yo,
have their
one
own
second.
say.
Talk is absolutely right. I meant to say buffoon. I apologize
Yeah.
Yeah.
if I chose the wrong word. But yeah, the
King
president
was
of
right
Brazil,
as
he's
well.
definitely a buffoon.
King was right as well. He said the PL are hypocrite. Why do they allow Abramovich and Osmanov from the beginning if they knew they had a shady
That's the
past?
thing. Yeah, why they knew this was coming.
Who does the PL not allow? There's no limit.
Oh,
If you've got money,
you're in.
money to go into the
Yeah.
look at what's happened with Newcastle. No one looks at the rights of the people in that particular country. I think it must be Saudi Arabia. The human
human rights problems. That's why you had people like Hamilton wearing a frigging helmet for their own Grand Prix to make a statement.
Yeah,
I
hope that helped.
Well, of course, it's not G's not the only driver. There was loads of other drivers that was making the statement very clearly as well, right? But this is the thing: if FIA and F1 could quickly react and say, right, Haas, your sponsors are gone because they're Russian, and they've got close links to Putin, right? Your driver's gone because his dad's close to Putin. If they could say, your Russian Grand Prix, bye, missing you already, tore up the contract already. If they can do all that quite quickly, why are we still sitting there, still waiting for the sale of Chelsea, Everton, Bournemouth, right? Why are we still waiting? There needs to be more like action in a sense, because I don't know whether it's down to whether the Premier League have got to do it, or whether it's the actual now government that's got to step in and go, that's it, bye, missing you already. Like, you have your assets seized.
Yeah, it's got to be. And I think the government, everybody notices that they've been very shy on doing it very quickly, which gives people like Usmanov and Abramovich time to sell up whatever they can, trace back as much money as they can, which isn't the right thing. And I know Abramovich's daughter has been coming out in the media saying that they're against what Putin's doing. They know it's a bad thing. And Abramovich probably does right now fear for his life, because he did actually say in his comment that all proceeds that he has with Chelsea and
he's
big. Hang on. But he said it will go towards the war. Hang on. Abramovich said it will go towards the war in Ukraine, which is against the law in Russia. You can't say that. You will be imprisoned. So the guy's probably now running away in the distance, like Oscar Schindler. You know, he did a great thing.
He'll go to he's got an Israeli passport, and so he'll probably go to Israel. He won't be allowed back in Russia if you're saying that.
But
he's got money. He can go anywhere, Stephen.
No.
Yeah, that it's not. He will have to go pretty far. He is probably definitely being traced right now. This is truth as well by the Russian Kremlin. This is how dangerous it is to come out and say anything against what's happening in Russia. And also, I'd like to add in as well that it's not Russian people that should be.
No.
Absolutely not. I love Russian people, mate. They've got a very good, you know, the history of Russia, and it's a beautiful place. Like Russian people are artistic. They got great endeavors. They're very technicalized. They know their science. They're very smart people, and they want to be a part of the world. And I'm not just saying like being a part of like capitalism and the Western world, but Russia is a part of capitalism. That's the reason why you're sanctioning Russia right now. So everybody's saying that they're what you call it
Communist.
communist state.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, they are in certain sense, but
Well,
but
that's what
they
they're turning
rely
into
on
now by blocking the media.
but they rely on capital. They're not really what you think they are. They have to rely on money coming in. You sanction them doesn't it shows exactly what they're saying what they're against. They rely on money from the Western and outside the world. And I think look going on football related as well with this whole thing, Marley, is FIFA have told Russia they can't compete in the World Cup. The playoffs are over. And other sports as well, including the
Spartak
Olympics.
Moscow's been knocked out of Europa League, for example.
Right. Yeah. So what do you make about that? That's a good thing. That shows because it means a lot to Russia, doesn't it? You know, you got Gazprom that are very involved in football. So it's a really big stance, isn't it, from FIFA? They never usually take a political stance against a certain country when it comes to war.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, first of all, just on the Putin thing, I couldn't agree with you more. It has nothing to do with the Russian people, right? Like so many amazing minds came from there, dude. Like I'm an acting student, right? Like the biggest mind theater history, Stanislavski, Russian dude, Anton Chekhov, one of the best playwrights in the history of the game as well, the theater game. Lenin, great freaking mind, mate. Fighting the bourgeoisie. It's just that after that, like it kind of went sideways and never really came back. But dude, you're talking about a guy that's trying to perpetuate his stay in power. He's a dictator. Like no going around that. He's a bigot, right? Like you're talking about Russia. Russia is like one of the three main countries in the world. Everyone knows that. China, Russia, the US. Putin's the leader of one of those three, and that's a country where you don't really have the right to say anything. Like you can't go against the government ever, because they censor you. It's actually like I don't
That's
actually think
Mali. They did.
yeah,
Sorry,
I don't
Mali.
actually what.
They used to have it. They did used to have independent media, but none have cancelled it
Yeah, exactly,
because
and
of this whole war thing. But
it's
you
a
did
I
used to have independent media with independent
that's
opinions.
that's a country where you can't be outspoken. I
And
mean, I might be saying something wrong here, but I think when it comes to
sorry,
homosexuality, for example, in
Mali.
Russia,
Something else as
one
well.
second, Stephen, Stephen.
Sorry.
When
Go
it
on.
comes to homosexuality, for example, I think you can't be outspoken about that too. Like you don't have press,
Mm.
you don't have right of speech if you're gay in Russia as well, dude. Like 2022, that's a guy that started wars in the past. He's gonna start more wars if he doesn't like if it's not game over for him now. I like no love for him. And just to answer your question, now I'll give you the word afterwards, Stephen. I don't think FIFA is doing this for the right reasons. Not gonna lie, they're monsters there, mate. They're just like money hungry
Mm.
monsters, and they're pretty much doing this because they feel like the whole world's gonna boycott them if they don't. But I love to see it, mate. I love to see it. I know the teams didn't necessarily do anything wrong, but you gotta take a stance. You gotta show. I love the fact that Brazilian players in like because that was happening to Ukrainian teams because of safety reasons, right? But I think Brazilian players are starting to leave Russian teams as well. I hope they do. I hope they come back to Brazil because we need to show, like the whole world needs to show that this is bullcrap. Putin needs to stand alone as the idiot that's killing people. That's it. But I can't lie. I don't think FIFA is doing this for the right reasons. They've shown me no evidence that they ever do anything for the right reasons. They always act for money.
They do. I think that's the thing with FIFA as well. Is they haven't usually taken this stance, so it is nice to see that. But I think there's more that they could do. And you see the Olympics as well. They let the guys stand against the Ukrainian winner who got gold, and he wore the Z logo. It's not a replication of pro-war. It's just to sort of show tanks where they should be going and what line they should be ordering. Like, don't hold it on as a symbol of like pro-war.
To be fair, people actually don't know what it means. A lot of people don't know what it means.
It's like the swastika.
We can't actually be sure it'd be that.
Do you know what the swastika means?
I don't really want to be honest.
Well, actually,
to be honest,
it's a sign of peace. It's always been a sign of peace. It has been.
I'll tell you what, it was a weird way of using it. It was a way of using it, though, wasn't it?
No, but it wasn't called that in Indonesia. That it was stolen from the Nazis to make that symbol something new. But if you look at the history of the swastika, it was actually an Asian thing. It's a sign of peace. It's just they've just taken away what it really meant. And I think this whole Z thing is a similar thing where they're using the Z now to make it seem like, oh, the Z is like pro-war, but it isn't. Like, you've got it all wrong. The Z is just literally to mark the tanks to show what part of Ukraine they're going in. So please don't go on this whole Z thing, and you're getting it completely wrong.
I'm not looking at it from that. I just look at it from what I see, and what I see is just a crazy madman who thinks that no one can touch him. Right? And it's like I was saying, you was just saying about the media. You were sitting there. They did have to have their own independent media, but because of this, they have been basically those independent channels, not government stated, independent. They've been basically given an ultimatum and threatened: if you carry on, right, you carry on with your own opinion, which most of them were saying when they were against it, right? So basically, because they knew they were against it, they basically said you either stop what you're doing, or we'll stop it for you. And if we stop it, it ain't gonna be nice. So yeah, it's
in Russia just from protesting.
I don't know,
like,
but I think
people go to the streets. They're like, we don't want war. That's it.
No, here's the thing, Marley. Marley, the last time he's got to be very careful, right? Because the last time their country didn't want war, and the last time, don't forget, oil's made sure the convoys they've run out of oil, and resources, so their convoy, right, in the Ukraine is stalling, right? If you get if you've got an army that doesn't have its resources and basics, if you then got people who don't want a war, you get a revolution, right? Because that's exactly what happened in Russia the last time around, right? The last time that happened in Russia, right, the Tsars ended up dead, right, and thrown off the throne.
Well, I know about that. My uncle did. So
that's that's the thing. So if he's not careful, he'll find a revolution on his hands, let alone a frigging war.
Yeah, he probably will, and he's in deep doo-doo, I think. I know a lot of people around Putin. You see it on the news as well. They don't seem too comfortable. And I see a lot of Russian protests as well, Marley, which is very good to see. People don't like to throw that out. And look, as well, I know there's been a lot of problems in East Ukraine. Like, it should be dealt with politically, of course. Like, there are people that don't feel like they are a part of Ukraine and they are on the east. That is happening. I do understand, but this is not the way to go. is it? This is, I mean, you see the way that they're shelling innocent people, civilians, and it's just like, it's crazy. And the reason why we have to, I feel that we have to do this on this channel as well, because football is politics. Politics is football. They both are a part of life. And if you can't mash them together, then you're in the wrong thing. Because unfortunately, we all know what happened in world wars, where the football got stopped because of wars. It does happen. It's good to talk about it. And Marley, what we all hope for peace. We all hope that it just stops. But what do you think will stop this and bring back life to normal?
I have no clue. I have no clue. And honestly, like I don't like Steven clearly has like he knows the history, right? So do you. Like you guys have more knowledge on that matter. I don't. And like I don't know, man, because I don't want Russia to be attacked either. Like I don't want Russian civilians to die. Like not gonna lie. That happens to Putin, I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it. If the next football game that happens in Russia is played with his head, I'm okay. I'm okay. But I don't want that happening to the Russian people, mate. Like over 30 kids died in the Ukraine already. Kids.
This is the
Like
this
I
is
don't
the
want the same
problem
to
though.
happen to Russia. Like I have no idea how that's fixed. Like how do you take Putin out without like killing a bunch of people? I don't know. I don't know.
There's
So
only
I hope
there's
you guys
only
have.
one way it's going to do it. And it's the way with it. We can't do the no-fly zone because that will drag us into a war. Because if we take down a Russian plane, they'll start attacking us. Right, and before you know it, we have World War III. So we can't do that. Right, as much as we love to help Ukraine in that sense, we can't because it would just cause an absolute crisis of the highest order. The only way you can do it is is doing what we're doing, sanctioning companies, businesses, oligarchs, anything that affects their economy. You sanction and freeze and stop. Because if they've got no economy, they can't fight a war. Simple as that, right? And the people won't have it either because they can't afford the basics. You see how many people queued outside their banks to get rid of their money out of the banks because the banks have basically crashed. That's the only way it's going to solve like without going to war with them. Yeah. It's the only way it's going to happen.
That makes sense.
I can agree with that. Let's shout out a few comments here. Charlie Hibbert says, "Big up, lads." Talk MU.
Big up, Charlie.
Yo. This is Lucas Life. Says hi. Talk MU. Well said, bro. Says to you, Marley. Noel Kane. Hello, Matt Marley. Stephen. Miss Mel. Big up, Miss Mel. She says hi.
Big up, Miss Mel. Brilliant.
We are already involved. If Poland send jets to Ukraine, then we are at war with Russia. Simple as that. He's absolutely right. This is why we can't. No one in NATO can do a no-fly zone because that is literally declaring war on Russia, and nobody wants that because that would be a world war. I think South America would see something from that. And it's not what anybody wants. Big up the chat.
If we do that, sorry, Matt. If we do that, it starts World War III.
Yeah,
and we're all dead. Simple as that.
I know. Venezuela. People around. Is it Bolivia? I think Mali are a little bit worried about Venezuela at the moment because of their influences on Russia. And I know Bolivia have had problems with Venezuela. Is that right? Bolivarian.
I don't know about that. I know that Venezuela is a country that sympathizes strongly with Putin. They have for a while, but I don't understand enough about the situation, like the relationship between Bolivia and Venezuela. A couple years ago, Bolivia would have stood with Russia too.
Oh,
because was it Evo Morales?
Belarus. Like that? Belarus is one that's joined the fight.
Well, yeah, we know. Yeah, Belarus have always pretty much been. That's why they call Belarus. They got the RUS in there.
It's Belarus, isn't it? It's a puppet state, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is. Hopefully, you can even see their commanders and their people, their war chiefs, don't look very comfortable with what's going on. Kingsight says the PL are hypocrite. Why do they allow Abramovich and Usmanov from the beginning?
I think you said that.
They know how shady they are, but What about Osmanov? Like, he doesn't seem to be getting the same treatment. Is there something
because
there? I know he was a part of Arsenal, wasn't he, Osmanov? Right?
yeah, then because he knew he weren't going to be able to make success of because the Kroenke, because he had majority share, he got rid of it because he knew he weren't going to get anywhere with this guy.
Sorry, guys, carry on.
It was funny. It was funny because we were all screaming we wanted Usmanov to stay, like at the time. So
Yeah, we did, didn't we? We did. King Sight says typical British arrogance and ignorance. EPL English Prostitute League. Oh wow. Charlie meant buffoon. Yeah, we did that one. Yes, Stu. Damage imitation. Mr. Silver Fox. Big up. Ukraine flag. FCB Adam. Sorry we couldn't have you on, bro, but
big
it's
up.
a very delicate situation to talk about. We will have you on very soon. Good evening, all from Rebel, from the Man United agenda, and yeah, Belarusia. So, guys, do you think FIFA's stance though on kicking Russia out of the World Cup's a good one? Do you think that's the right decision
They
to
had
do?
to. They had to.
I'm sorry,
It was so, like the Russian players. Like I'm assuming and I'm hoping that most of them don't support what's happening. But like it's just there's no environment for Russia to be in the World Cup right now. There's not like it's a recipe for disaster, mate. Like other it's easier to be rude to these players. Like aggressiveness can grow. Like it makes no sense. Plus, it's another way of taking a stand, saying like, you guys, as long as you keep doing this, even though it's just Putin, as long as you keep doing this, you're not part of the worldwide society. You're not, and the World Cup's there for that.
Mali as well is that if you've got every other sport like basketball, for example, tennis, for example, the Olympics, for example, if you've even got like the F1, for example, kicking Russia out of their own Grand Prix, kicking Russia out of their own frigging, kicking their own drivers out, like then you've got to do it. They've got to do it in football as well.
Yeah.
They've got to follow suit. You've got to follow the chain, otherwise everyone's going to be targeting you. And it's not because, let's get this right, they're doing it because it would look bad on them if they kept them in. It's not like we're taking a moral stance, because otherwise they take a moral stance on anything. It's just because they don't want their reputation, they know stinks already, and they don't want it to stink any further. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, exactly, mate. Exactly. You're muted, Maddie.
Sorry, is there anybody else in the comments have anything to say on this? Mateo's here. Hello, guys. Good topic. Isn't there going to be a negotiation about the ceasefire? There is a third or fourth one today.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be a fourth one now.
I believe it's it's only just to let humanitarian aid through. Yeah, I believe. But then too many people have already shipped and left already. Do you think actually the government should be doing more to help, like the people that are fleeing from this, the refugees that are fleeing from this? Kind of like how we helped them, the Poles in World War II, for example. Because I think there's only about 600 people have only managed to come through the UK because of border control and everything like that. Shouldn't we just be saying, look, until this is sorted, we just get in or something like that and sort out a place for them to like be there, be at, that they can live off.
Were you asking me? Sorry.
Yeah, I was asking any one of you.
Come again, then, my man. My bad. What
I'm basically saying is that should the UK government, because only 600 people have been let through it so far, we know about 2 million people have fled. Should they be trying to do more to get people in, right? Should they just be relaxing the border controls just to help get people get in and have a place to stay while this is all sorted?
Yeah, mate. I mean, in my very simplistic mind, yeah, like I feel like any country in the world that's at war, that like where a war is happening within their territories, I feel like other countries should welcome the people that are just looking to stay safe, right? Like should not risk their lives. I know there's probably a bunch of reasons why that's not as easy as I'm making it to be, but like that's my logic. It's my logic. It's just like we got to look out for one another. That's it. But if I'm being honest again, Steven, you know a lot more about this than I do, so I don't even know what the politics for that are right now as things stand. So I can't comment too much on it, right? But yeah,
Because obviously it is because like we've got tighter ball controls now due to lockdown and everything like that. No, not lockdown. Sorry, the being out of the EU. So it's a difficult one, but I do feel we should be trying to just help more. I know there's a load of people that are going out there to help with humanitarian aid, right? But like, as long as humanitarian aid gets like through, right, then at least there's like some sort of positive out of it. Is that there is aid getting to them. Obviously, it's still wrong, and it needs to stop. But at least there's ways of getting aid to people that need it most, because most of them have got kids who are about 2-3 years old, and they need a place to stay, they need food and water, and somewhere they can actually sleep off as well.
Yeah.
Which they're finding it a struggle right now, and it's all because of this man. Because he decides, I'm going to take over the world and no one's going to stop me.
That's the thing. Like it's one thing to think you can't be touched, right? Actually, a lot of people feel that way. But thinking you can't be touched and thinking you can touch everyone else, that's where the problem is, and that's exactly what Putin is. He thinks he can do whatever he wants to whoever he wants, and nothing's gonna happen. Like that's the thing with big leaders of the world nowadays. Like they feel so protected by the fact that weapons of mass destruction nowadays are so dangerous that everyone feels like no one's ever gonna dare go into a world war. That they're like Putin just does this. He knows like the US is not gonna like go like straight up attacking Russia, getting a world war started.
Yeah, because I think he's well. It depends if he's going to be that stupid to push the button. That's the thing. Like, will he be that stupid and push the actual button that will end us all? That's the major worry for everyone right now. If we decide to go military into a no-fly zone situation, into an actual conflict. So, yeah, so it's...
That happens, man. Talk, if you're still watching this, you're going to have to find a new planet to stream with because we're all going to be dead. So it's going to be
man.
you alone on YouTube. But yeah, man, it's scary. It's scary. And I've been feeling so horrible for a long time now because like, whenever something like this happens in the world and I notice it, because I'm not going to lie, I've been oblivious to problems for most of my life. So this one I picked up on, and it's freaking heartbreaking, man. It's freaking heartbreaking. It's
of course it is.
It's comfortable being in Brazil. Brazil's a country that never really went into war. I feel kind of like safe, but at the same time, like I just feel so much for the people that are struggling with this, for the people that are afraid for their lives, for their families' lives, children dying, dude. What like Ukraine wants to enter NATO, right? Like Ukraine wants to enter NATO, so let me kill some Ukrainian kids. That's it. That's Putin's logic.
That's Putin's logic, and it's Putin's logic in every sense of the word. Like, this guy is generally so far is up his own arse. It's unreal.
Yeah.
Like, what the only thing I'd love to hit, and you know what? Usually I don't wish death on anyone, but honestly, if someone said on the news report, like in the future, that he's being taken out by the SAS, tell you what, I'd have a freaking party about it. Honestly,
Yeah, dude.
because that's
Me too.
because he needs like to f off. Sorry, he does.
Dude, there's no room for people like him in society, dude. He's a mass murderer. Like it's as simple as that. And we're never gonna grow as people if there's actually people defending that guy. I've seen people defending Putin, dude. Like I apologize, and I'm sure Steven does too. Like, we apologize for not paying attention to wars that happened in the past. But what's happening now is wrong. Is that not more important? We promise that we're going to pay more attention to wars that happen in the future. All wars are wrong. But dude,
Yeah, all wars are wrong, man.
he's a mass murderer. There's no defending him. And I should ask, and I hate sending messages like this, but if you support Putin, I'm going to have to ask you, please unsubscribe to the channel. I don't mind losing a couple if it's because of that. And if you're my friend as well, you're watching this, unfriend me. I don't want to be your pal. I really don't. Like, it's
no.
You can think the Ukrainian government might have done something wrong. I actually don't know. The guy attacked the country. He's killing kids. He's killing civilians. It's just like, fuck off. That's it. That's all I have to say. Really, I'm waiting for Maddie to come back because I don't think
what have we got to
for too much longer. But I think nature called. But there he is.
Sorry, guys. It was amazing. Yeah. So I mean, I guess just try and find peace and just don't try and jump on left or right. There is, like, of course, Russian people are really cool. It's not their fault. It's not their doing. No. It's Putin's war.
That's the thing. There was some guy who went on a channel the other day. Right, he's a Russian and he's been getting targeted abuse because of it. And I'm like, why are you abusing him? It's not his fault.
That's wrong. No. It's so wrong.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he didn't choose to do that.
No.
If he's supporting it, then yeah, fuck him. By all means, go for it. Give him all the abuse you want. But if he's not supporting it and he's coming out and he's saying it's completely wrong, right, and he doesn't love his country because of it, then yeah, like, give him his due, right?
Dude,
don't have a go.
You can never suffer because of anything other than your actions, right? So you can't say someone's an asshole because they're born somewhere, dude. Like, I'm sure I have to believe this. Most people in Russia probably think Putin's an asshole. They probably do. I can't bring myself to believe anything other than this. I can't bring myself to
after
believe
this.
The majority
it got
of people
to
anywhere support what he's doing. I can't.
Unless they are literally that dumb to believe their state-led news corporations, then yeah, like you can't support it. You know what I mean? It's fucked up.
It's unacceptable.
Yeah, sorry, fuck it. I'm using the F-bomb. Fuck him.
I had someone just come and quickly check that. My finger's busted. Look, completely busted. Look.
Oh no.
Yeah. It is, unfortunately. But yeah, you know what?
That finger is good for absolutely nothing, dude. Just cut it off. Like, what? That's used to drinking tea.
Wish we could drink tea. This has been a good chat, guys.
Yeah.
And it's difficult because it's still hard to, emotions are flying everywhere as well, and facts go around different places. You think you're getting in the right information, it might not be necessarily correct. There's a lots more to really delve into when we talk about this, but we clearly know this is a fallacy from Putin, what he's thinking and what he's trying to do. But I think the main point as well, because we are a football channel, is because of what FIFA have done and every country around, even Switzerland as well, which is a neutral country usually, that's come out and gone against it. I think we can all sit here and agree that we pray for Ukraine. We pray for the Russian people as well. You know, it's the same thing. I don't want to see anybody dying from anything. You know, so I just want to hope that everybody stays safe, stays out of trouble, doesn't get into anything that isn't brought up well enough. And
we got to just show that we can, like, the greatest thing that we can show is that we stand together as one as one nation.
Yeah,
exactly.
Simple as that.
Respect to Zelensky. Isn't there going to be a negotiation about a ceasefire? Yes, there has been 2 or 3. We've read them out all before. Big up Matteo. Big up everybody that's come in today. It was pretty much a quick chat. We might delve into it again in the next 3 or 4 weeks to see what's going on. The reason why I thought we should.
If you're watching this, you expected to hear a little more about football in this chat. I do apologize, but then again, football should come second place to this, right? Like it's a game. It's a game. That's it. Like we tried connecting it, but the most important thing, it's not football. It's never been football. Football's a game. It's a game. It's just like it's not as important as people's lives and what's happening in the world. So like I'm sorry we couldn't fit a little more football chat here, but it had to come second place to the humanitarian things. To just people's lives. That's it. That's what I had to say. Sorry.
Well done, Marlon. We felt, I guess we felt that from us as people, we felt that was the right thing to do, whether people agree.
Absolutely.
So if you dislike it, go right ahead. We've not displaced anything out wrongfully. We just said that we don't like war. We want peace. We want to bring football back. We want Ukraine to come back. We want Shakhtar Donetsk. We want Dynamo Kiev. We do want CSK Moscow. We do want St. Petersburg. We do want these teams to come back and join us and be a part of this beautiful thing that we have going here, which is football. And if we all the countries back together again and like build upon this and play some fun sports, which we all love, then surely the world can only get better. Surely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Great way to end. Stephen, where can we find you, bro? Thank you so much for joining us.
Mate, you know where you can find me, SVT TV. We're live at 6 with the Arsenal Gossip column. Then do the watch along, and then I've got SVT F1 late in the evening, talking about actually Hash's contract with Russia and everything. So so a little bit about this topic. But 11th of March, massive guests are planned. Massive 6-hour stream. Right, I need to talk to a couple of people about like times and that, but big up Mel and Bargav who have sorted all that out because they are absolute legends. So make sure you got that in your diary. 4 p.m. 11th of March, Big Yellow Friday charity event. Let's go.
Brilliant. Go check that out this Friday, everybody. It's very, 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 very much important. And Marley.
Yeah, well, find me here. This is my home. My second home is this guy's below here. We have a couple of exciting content coming up on Football United TV, but like that's not as important right now. I just want to say once again, big up to the people of the Ukraine. Our thoughts are with you. Mainly my man, Mike the Gangsta. I want to send my love to you, man. I hope your whole family and all of your friends are doing all right. Let me try to say this. Zupinite svit. Stop the war in Ukrainian. That's all I care about.
Thank you, everybody. And Thank you so much for tuning in and staying with Football United TV. We will be back tomorrow, I believe, and Thursday, Friday, and the rest talking about football, of course. But yeah, thank you for tuning in, everybody. Stay safe, everybody in Ukraine, Russian, Ukraine, everybody that's involved with it. Stay safe, keep calm, and let's hope the war finishes off. Until then, bye bye, everybody.
Ciao.
Take care.
Bye.